Who knows? Good morning. Good morning. It is. I think that's better. Yeah, I don't know why I think it's better. Hi, to Hamilton. Hamilton is today's build. I love me some Hamilton. I got to see the original show. I got to see the original cast in the original Broadway show back when that was happening. I mean, it all actually began when John Hodgman sat me down in 2015, 2016, 2017, can't remember, somewhere around there. John Hodgman sat me down backstage at a performance we were both participating in and said, I need to tell you about something very important. And he told me about Hamilton. He told me about how creatively it was so unique that it sort of reset his aesthetic water level. He said something to those words, and I don't disagree with the effect that it had on me creatively. What a wonderful document. So it still continues to, I know, it sort of drifted in the culture. There's a little bit of cringe to it now. I don't know why. It's fine. It doesn't really matter to me. Within my Hamilton fandom, I went and bought at auction a set of the American Historical Society's replicas of, I believe, Frederick Church's dueling pistols that Hamilton and Alexander Burr used in their famous duel. These are surpassingly accurate copies. Their fidelity is down to the sub-millimeter. The carvings of the name Wogden, the maker of this pistol, in the metal are so beautiful. These are absolutely a prize piece of my replica collection. And they came in this beautiful box, which is fine. This box is fine. I plan, it actually has a little bit of a break in one of the joints. I plan to fix that. But more, I plan to rebuild this. I am not going to take this apart. This belongs with these. These are a valuable item, and I want to maintain the box. I'll fix it and reclamp it and all that, but I want to maintain it as a piece of sacrosanct hardware. But I want to make a new box because this box is a very reasonable facsimile of how OG pistol boxes were laid out. But it's a little soft around the edges, and I want to make it nice. In addition, there's a second pair of pistols. There's a second shooter. There is a second shooter because in addition to obtaining these, a few years ago before the lockdown, Hamilton came here to San Francisco. I got to visit backstage, talk to some of the cast and the crew. We did a bunch of videos on Tested on it. Link is in the description. And one of the things I got to see was the dueling pistols from the stage show. And it turned out that they had found a replica that they liked. They had bought a ton of them, and they had found them to be highly bulletproof replicas. Like, they survived and survived. The propmaster was like, these things get horribly abused and they really come back for more. And I took some close-up pictures and thought, I can find those. And I did. The model that the Hamilton production used is made by Denix. Denix is a medium quality firearm replica maker. Almost everybody's DL-44 Han Solo blaster is based off of Denix. I mean, like 95% of the Star Wars replicas out there are built off of these guys. They are fine castings. They're not super crisp. You get exactly what you pay for, which means that these are super reasonably priced in general. And if what you want is stage stuff, Denix is absolutely your jam. The model that is the specific flintlock. Oh, you ready for it? It's model 1043-L, the flintlock pistol, Germany, 18th century. So I picked up a couple of these. Let's open this one on the channel, shall we? Oh, it looks like, oh, okay. I need to fix that a little bit. Okay, so here is the flintlock replica that is used in the Hamilton stage production, save for one thing. This part and this part and this part in the stage production are silver, not gold. So I think that I may end up doing some silver plate. Yeah, I may do some silver plate. That actually might happen. So since what I have are the real thing, the really high quality replica, the lower quality replica, and they're both part of Hamilton lore. So I'm going to build a pair of pistol cases. And here's the fun part that I kind of enjoy. Oh, I wonder if I'll turn on. I have the plan. The plan is I am going to make I eventually am going to pull this apart, strip all these parts, and replate them. That's going to happen, but not immediately. First, what I'm going to do is make a theater-style pistol case for the theater pistols. Let us say that the dramaturg wanted a pistol case that these came out of for some dramatic effect. I'm going to build that case. Yes, I am, Brad. So we're going to do some drawing and figure it out. I've got a drawing here. Here is my inspiration for this. This is a Wogden case, and Wogden tended to keep their pistols apart. Now, there's one way to do it is to make specific cutouts for every single part that is exactly the shape of that part, and that tends, I think that's called Frenching. This is different. This is Wogden's cases tended to have a flat bottom with some sections for tools, and really specifically, they kept the guns apart here and here by using this square in the middle. Now, I've drawn the box. Here it is. I've drawn the two corner boxes. There they are. And I am going to wait to draw this box until I have the box built. I think I'm going to line it in a light colored felt, because if I was on stage, if I was doing this in person, I'd use something darker. But because this is on stage, I think that it's actually quite important that that this be that it look like this. It makes the pistols really stand out here against these. 17.75. That's 17 and 5/8. I have my marching orders. I've got the box layout here, and I'm going to start to cut some pieces to size for it. And we should be able to complete this box today. This is a one-day build. The other Hamilton pistol box, more like a two-day build, I'm thinking. So 10 3/4 by 3 3/8 times 2. Here we go. Let's talk about theater carpentry for a second. I'm going to make an old-looking pistol case, and it wants to look like it's made out of wood. For obvious reasons, I don't want that wood construction to have obvious joins like this, because that's not very period correct. That'll look really weird on stage. It'll look like it's made out of plywood. So I have gone with beveled edges on my pieces of wood so that they join, actually they join like this. And that's to give me an unbroken veneer across it, so that when I finish this box, sand it and stain it, I'm going to get wood grain across the whole thing. And that'll look just a little more period correct. Theater, your threshold for exposure is very low in theater, but it's there. And if you don't get it right, you take the audience out of the production. You don't want to do that. So I want this to feel like an old, I want this to sell from, I want it to sell from over here. Hi. In film, you want to sell it from over here. In person, you want to sell it from right here. Also, you might have noticed I have two different thicknesses. What's going to happen is when these guys all go together, there's this rabbited out little pocket. On the bottom, it allows for a piece of plywood to go about flush like that, and also allows me to come in from the side with some nails for some structural support so that the bottom doesn't fall out of this. We are gluing and nailing everything here, so that shouldn't be a problem. But on the top, I've gone with a much thinner edge than on the bottom, and that's because I'm gonna fill that with a big piece of plywood and use the veneer to look like an unbroken piece of wood across the top. That will hopefully sell that this is an ye olde gun case. We're going to stain and lacquer this whole thing. And like most boxes that I build, I'm going to build this one whole and then slice the lid off. What? That I'm very happy with. Oh, yeah, gotta get that. Ten and 7/8. 10 3/4, 10 3/4 by 17 1/4 and 17 10 3/4. Lovely. Thanks. Okay, so I've got the case on the run. It's going well. I'll talk about that in a minute. Right now, what's about to happen is I'm about to go through and strip the paint off of these Denix gun parts. This paint. This isn't paint. This is probably an electroplate, but it's also probably covered with a lacquer. So that's what I'm taking off. I'm taking the lacquer off the top of this. So I'm just going to get these all out. There's one frame. I don't need to remove that. And I don't need to remove the plating from that. I just need it from these fancy parts. Yes, fancy pants, oh yes. So I'm just making what I have here is a protected medical tray that will allow me to use the paint stripper without getting it all over important things. Hold on. I may swap out those screws with other screws. Let's pull this all just in case, because oh my God, it's a nail? Right, I forgot about that. Okay, so we also getting rid of these because that's not necessary. And that. So I'm cleaning out these guys. Oh, right, I still want to get this off. Ah, I see it. One last nail. Okay. Then you come off, then you come out, and then you come out, and you're all one. Excellent. All right. Those parts are currently stripping. I want to make these a little bit more interesting. These are fine. These are fine, but I'd like them to be a little more chestnut. No, I think dark mahogany. I think I'm going to do a little bit of this. This is just to add a little bit of depth to this thing. That's all. I just wanted to feel a little bit more, interesting. That's all. When you add a second color, you add depth just automatically. It's always that way. The parts have been sitting for a few minutes. I've got a good brush for brushing this stuff. And I'm just gonna, I mean, maybe this isn't lacquer, but it's highly likely. So we're just gonna give a good scrub to everything here. All right, ladies and germs, we have our poisonous silver electroplating solution. So you're going to ask what the chemical I used for my electroplating, and please don't use this as a how-to on electroplating. I am literally going about as rudimentary as it goes, and I am so far from an expert. I would hate. There's so much on YouTube for you for your electroplating needs. Being very careful with that. We've got our 5 volts going into the anode, coming out of the cathode. I've got a gold coated barrel here, and we're about to plate this puppy. Let's go in. There we go. And here we go. It is almost immediate, and it's definitely line of sight of the anode. Okay, yeah, that's great. I think my gloves might be compromised, so I'm going to take care of that. Okay, there it is. That's a silver barrel. I'm really pleased. I'm going to put that in here. I'm going to bring in the hard to do piece, the heads. I'm going to bring in the heads here, like this. Actually, we'll do this interior part. And this over here. Clean everything really well after this. Yeah. Look at that. It's, wow. Okay, sorry. I know I don't have, there we go. This really is like magic. It's freaking magic. Crazy. I'm crazy for feeling so lonely. Dude, that's freaking respectable. All right, there's a lion. Here comes another lion. Opa, Jama! Yep, there she goes. She's already coating. It's so impressive. All right, there we go. Let's just take a minute and see these two different finishes. I could not be happier with that. All right, here we go. I'm just going to do one more pass on the barrels here, on the midsection of the barrel. I could not, even if I tried, be happier with these parts. Oh my goodness, Deuteronomy. Look at these. These are amazing. Sorry. Look at these things. They're absolutely gorgeous. This exceeds all of my expectations. So I think that what we're going to do is I got to do a final assembly here on these raised bits. We're going to assemble the guns last. Yeah. So let's see here. I think it goes like this. That goes there. That's there. This one goes there. And this one goes there. So we're going to, yeah. Yep. That's what we're going to do. We're going to do this business. Okay. And it still closes. Yes, it does. That gave us a little lip here. Oh, it's so sexy. I'm so happy about it. This guy lives in here. And this guy lives in here. Look at that. Doesn't that look like all official and shit? Oh, right. I'll get this one going too. And this one. I don't know if this is going to work, but I'm going to try it. Okay, I need to reassemble the guns so that I can put them in and make the central block. Okay, great. Now the question is, does it need this? Does it need these? I feel like see, I'm going to have a thing here that's going to say church. That's going to be made out of brass. Oh, oh. Okay, yep, I see. All right, much better. Better. Now I need to make these. Okay, we're almost there. I had some drawer pulls that I used for my little triangular boxes. Yay, drawer pulls. And now I think I have replaced all of the various chunks of the guns. I've replaced most of the wood screws with actual machine screws. I've given this a couple of coats of semi-gloss, which I'm really happy with how it turned out. It feels like the right kind of shine. I'm very happy with that. So now I'm going to start putting stuff back on it. Let's see. We'll start with the barrel. Right? I'm really happy with how that came out. The underside of the barrel is held in, oh, right, I can trim these to size. That's right. Hold on. Great. Very happy with that. Nice and positive. Really, really good positive grab. So, good. Good. On the barrel. Okay, let's do a little bit of it. Bellissimo. Oh, that's it. So. Yep. Okay. Nice and positive. unlikely to fall apart. What's happening now is I'm replacing the trigger pins. These are the pivot pins for the trigger, and there's a lot of movement on that. So I'm going to use a piece of welding wire, 2 pieces actually, and I'm going to flatten their ends. All right, now and then let's make sure this one also fits. What I was doing there was I was actually, I wanted a third cocking click, and I just basically relieved enough material behind the hammer here, the flint, to be able to all the way back to there. That was my goal, and I got it. Great. Very reliable. Good. Oh, well, that's it. And then this one, same dealy bob. Okay, last. That can go away. These, whoo, these, you know what I love? I love taking a handful of these and tossing them out. Whee! Okay, I could not be happier with how this worked out. These 2 Denix guns, which I re-silver plated, gave a new finish on the wood, and made a case for, just now feel like they've got a real genuine home. And this was really great practice to replicate and rebuild the pistol case that came with my Uberti Hamilton replicas. I know I said I was going to do a church logo up here, but that's name church, but they didn't do name tags up here. In fact, the most common feature at the top of, well, 2 things. One is that the pistol cases, as far as I can tell, all had mortise locks, little keyholes here, and they all had a sunken handle in the top that you could put a finger under and lift. So I think they were meant to stack. They were meant to go somewhere where they could stack. So I'm not going to add church here. I figure actually in a theater show, this would be how the prop would be displayed. I mean, it may include something to keep the hinge from tearing itself out, but that's pretty much straightforward. Anyway, we're done. We're at the end of this build, and I really, really appreciate you guys sticking with me for this. It has been really, really fun. I've been dying to see these guys in a proper home forever. Thank you guys for joining me. I'll see you next time. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to support us even further, you can by becoming a tested member. Details are, of course, below, but it includes all sorts of perks, and we're building them all the time. You get advanced word and behind-the-scenes photos of some of our projects. Questions, you get to ask direct questions during my live streams, and we have some members-only videos, including the Adam real-time series of unbroken, unedited shots of me working here in the shop. They are weirdly meditative. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you on the next one.